Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Daily Field at Averett University North Campus on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Danville. 7:45 remaining before the draw control to start things off here today. The non-conference matchup, women's lacrosse matchup between the Tornadoes of Brevard and your Averett University Cougars. Once again, I'm former Assistant Sports Information Director Davin Wilson, and I will be with you on the ones and twos for all the calls here this afternoon for this game between these two former USA South Conference rivals. Of course, Averett moving over to the ODAC this season, along with the rest of its athletics program. So, as I said, we are about 7 minutes away here from the start of the game. I'm joined here today in the production truck by Mr. Landon Hendricks, Mr. Ethan Stevens, and Mr. Stanley Cillian, who will be helping me with the camera angles and the audio and making me sound good, which is not an easy thing to do. So much appreciation to these three, and they'll be with me the whole way as well. So we're going to take a quick rundown as soon as I find my program. Boys and girls, number one tip for broadcasting, if you're going to do it, be organized, which I am currently not. So if you'll deal with me for just a second, but here we go. So the Cougars come into this game. They open the 2023 season on the road with a thundering 20-1 victory over NC Wesleyan February 25th. Brevard opened the season with 2 wins, eking out a victory over Randolph College 19-18 February 19th, and then following with a dominating 19-1 win over Spalding University February 24th. Averett comes into this game 2-0 all-time against Brevard. Averett won 9-7 in 2018 and 22-3 over the Tornadoes in 2019. And also, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'm sure you probably already know this, the Cougars have a new face at the helms this year in Aaron Murphy. And the Cougars were picked number 8 in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference preseason poll in his first year in the league. Of course, the ODAC is traditionally very strong in both men's and women's lacrosse. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out here today between these two former conference rivals. So we're going to take a look here. Brevard is coached by Kristen Rosato. She is in her 8th season, and she is assisted by Coach Roya Tamamasbi. And as I said, we are just moments away. We're going to take a look here at the starters. The projected starters for today's game. First off, we're going to start with the Tornadoes. We're going to have Elise Moore, Grace Blanton, Parker Moore, Emily Denaga, Lex McLaughlin, Cassie Hutto, Paige Grace Vaught, Autumn Kramer, Savannah Colliver, Josh Mitchell, and Nicole Volk. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network, and when we come back, we will have some more of the pregame show for you.
For more than 40 years, Averett University's athletics programs have competed in the USA South. Now we begin a new era as a member of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. We will continue to build on our traditions. We'll continue to develop our student athletes into tomorrow's leaders as catalysts for positive change. With 24 NCAA and club varsity sports, we'll bring championship aspirations, high academic success, and a focus on community service. We bring first-class facilities, and we will continue to build for the future. We'll renew old rivalries and create new ones in the ODAC. We'll do it as one team, one family, one Averett.
Is inclusive, encompassing, inspiring. Averett University provides all you need for a future you deserve through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential. With flexible online and on-campus programs, like our newest programs in entrepreneurship and psychology, with more coming soon. With affordable tuition and 24/7 support, it all leads to you becoming a catalyst for positive change. Visit allaverett.com. Averett University. Are you all in?
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Daily Field, as we are now 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from the start of today's match between the Tornadoes of Brevard College and your Cougars of Averett University. First off, we're going to take a look here at some stats for you. Starting things off, first we're going to take a look at things with the Cougars. And actually, I'm kind of having some trouble seeing my notes here on this program, so we might have to skip the stats for the Cougars, at least for the time being. We'll come back to them here in a minute. So right now, Parker Moore for the Tornadoes, 13 goals, while Emily Denaga and Hill both have 6. Autumn Kramer with 5 for the Tornadoes, and Savannah Colliver with 3. Right now, assist-wise, Denaga leads the Tornadoes with 6. Knobler with 3, and Nicole Volk with 2. So now we're going to go back and take a look here at what we have for the Cougars. See if we can't make a little more sense out of it. And, of course, we can. And no surprise here if you are a follower of the Averett University women's lacrosse team, as it's Peasley with a team-high 7 goals, as she is closing in on the all-time NCAA record for goals in a career. Also, Raven Felder with 2 for the Cougars. Faith Bolin with 3. Kelsey Steckroth with 2. Morgan Deering with 2. And then Amanda Antoine, Emma Miller, Rachel Rios, Irenia Torre all have a goal apiece for the Cougars. I'm going to take a look here in the Cougars' first game against NC Wesleyan. They outshot the Bishops it was a 21 victory for the Cougars. Of course, that gives them an average of 20 so far going in here. And the free position opportunities, they were 1 for 1 while limiting the Battling Bishops to a 0-1 performance. Goal breakdown, free position, 1 came. Unassisted were 11 of them. And Averett ended up winning the ground ball battle 15-4. Ended up winning the draw controls 21-4. And ended up forcing 22 NC Wesleyan turnovers compared to the 13 they committed themselves. The Cougars did. So, quick rundown of how things are looking here so far as we hear the air horn down on the field. I was coming up here earlier and was feeling a little mischievous and almost picked up the air horn and snuck up behind some folks and tried to scare them, but decided to be nice and not do that. Never a good way to start the day. And it's a busy day altogether here at Averett as the baseball team and the softball team are competing in various tournaments. Of course, Averett with a new head coach as well. And as I said, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups once again. And first off, we're going to have for the Tornadoes, Elise Moore, Grace Blanton, Parker Moore, Emily Denaga, Lex McLaughlin, Cassidy Hutto, Paige Knobler, Grace Vaught, Autumn Kramer, Savannah Colliver, Josh Mitchell, Nicole Volk. And for the Cougars, it's going to be Morgan Deering, Faith Bolin, Irenia Torre, Kat J, senior Kelsey Steckroth, sophomore Rachel Rios, senior Riley Leodor, junior Portia Davis, senior Raven Felder, sophomore Shayla Romero, graduate student Elizabeth Peasley, and junior Kaylee Joblin will be in goal. As I mentioned earlier, these two teams used to be opponents in the USA South. Of course, Averett made the jump in all of its sports this year to the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. A big jump for the Cougars. And with these wonderful facilities and this production quality on the broadcast, it's really looking more and more like a ODAC quality program every single day here. Every time I come over to do a game, I started here in 2014, and things were pretty advanced, pretty up-to-date then, but come over here now and just sitting in here looking at this truck and surrounded by all this equipment, and really takes you back, makes you feel like you're in a production truck for ESPN. And, of course, very grateful for all the donors that made that happen. So Erin Murphy in her first season here at Averett, after Kelly Ryan, who came back and led the Cougars revival of women's lacrosse, was very successful as well. And Morgan Deering, of course, one of the big architects of that program, along with Kelsey Steckroth, also Riley Leodor, Raven Felder, Elizabeth Peasley, and then, of course, no doubt with Peasley, as she has been a absolute scoring force so far for the Cougars in her career, and will look to continue that moving forward here today. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break for the playing of the national anthem here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Averett Sports Network, as we are just seconds away from the draw control. And it's going to be number 24, Peasley, lining up center right now. Peasley, of course, one of the most decorated players here, and it's also going to be number 10, Moore. So Peasley and Moore lining up for the first draw control of the afternoon. And here we go. And Brevard it's going to be Brevard scooping it up at first. Moore trying to get down on the attack. She had a little bit of space right there. She slows things down a bit, drops the ball back now. The Tornadoes squared over, looking for the cross in. And Moore is going to try to switch fields here. Actually, she's going to stop about midway through. Drops back to number 21, Savannah Colliver, who is going to finish that goal off an assist from Moore. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a goal. We just took a second to confirm it there. It's going to be number 21, Savannah Colliver, the senior midfielder out of Greenville, South Carolina. Off the assist from Parker Moore, the senior attacker out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And the Tornadoes are off to a quick 1-0 lead. And Peasley and Moore right back squaring off against each other for the draw control. And Peasley is going to get the first stick on it. She's going to scoop it up. Now Peasley starts the attack on the left side. She drops over a pass to number 4, Torre. Torre still with the ball. She's going to drop it back over to number 15, Raven Felder. Cougars strategically working things around right now. And that is going to be number 2, Morgan Deering, who's going to sneak it right in there. She got right up in the face of the Tornadoes goalkeeper. And it is now a 1-1 ball game as a minute and a half, barely a minute really off the clock, and already 2 goals. That's what you got to love about lacrosse, the rapid pace scoring. So Morgan Deering on the unassisted goal there to knot things up at 1 with 13:59 remaining in the first. And it's going to be Peasley and Moore once again lining up for the draw control. And 50-50 ball. There's a stoppage on the field. Foul. Brevard possession. It's going to be Moore. Moore thinks about going far side on the field, but she keeps it close. She's now down the right side, well guarded by Deering and number 6, Steckroth. So it's going to be Brevard, number 17, Knibler. We've got a stoppage on the play, or stoppage on the field. Of course, there's a stoppage on the play. That's how stoppages work. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with me a little bit today. This is the first lacrosse game I have broadcasted in about 2 years. So I might be a little rusty with things, but as I joked around with Sports Information Director Drew Wilson earlier, at least I can follow the ball, and I always will know where that is. As it is now, it looks like with number 17, Knibler. About 31 yards out. See if this turns into a free position attempt, or it's just going to be a few passes and a change of possession or whatnot. And so it's going to be number 21, Colliver. So Colliver is going to drop it over. The pass looks like it is picked off. It is. Try to get you a number on her now. It's number 5, Averett, Cat J, the sophomore defender out of Raleigh, North Carolina, making her presence felt early on here on Daly Field. So Averett now with possession. Ball stays on the far side. It's number 2, Deering. Deering making a nice run of things. Her shot is going to be scooped up by Brevard keeper number 13, McLaughlin. Brevard with the ball on the far side. And we're going to have a foul whistle there as there was some contact down on the field. And that's going to give Brevard the ball about 35 yards out, give or take. And looks like it's going to be number 17, Knibler. And so we've got a yellow card, dangerous contact. So Knibler. And there's a nice pass inside to number 21, Colliver. Ball pass back over the top. Averett working hard to try to scramble it, but unable to, as it's going to be number 18, Grace Vaught. And as Averett's going to pick that one up on the defensive end, number 12, Portia Davis, the junior out of Riverdale, Georgia. And the ball is going to roll out. Brevard ball. Brevard trying to get the clear. And Peasley is going to scoop that one up, or try to anyway, unable to. Ball rolling around on the ground. And we've got a foul. Peasley with a quick restart. Gets it over to number 11, Leodore. Averett now with possession. Ball tossed over to the middle. Some nice passing going on. Peasley with it. She's going to get it back over to number 15, Felder. Pass inside. That's going to be a shot from number 3, Bolin. Unsuccessful, though. Averett still with possession. Going to drop the ball back to number 10, Rios. Peasley right now with the rock. Trying to work her way in. Well guarded. She's going to drop that one back to Rios, and it's going to be number 11 now, Leodore, scooping things up. And number 3, Faith Bolin. Oh, Morgan Deering, excuse me. So Bolin with the goal off the pass. So we got 2-1 ball game now. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. 2-1 is your score after Bolin's goal. And it's going to be number 3, Bolin, picking it up right away. Making a nice run. Gets a pass over to Peasley. It is intercepted by Moore. Moore well guarded, though. And it's going to be number 10. 10 Rios able to dispossess the ball, and she is. Still has it. He's going to square that one over to number 11, Leodore. So loose ball now. Scooped up by the Cougars. Ball is squared over to number 6, Steckroth. And we're going to have a foul. Okay. And Elizabeth Peasley with a goal for Averett. And it is now 3-1. So Brevard, after getting the first goal of the game, has allowed 3 in a row. And the Cougars now have a 3-1 lead. As it's Deering, Bolin, and Peasley so far with the scores for the Cougars. Once again, I'd like to give a shout out to my production team up here, keeping me updated with everything and running this equipment and bringing you all these different angles you're seeing right now down here on the field. Hard to find anywhere in really all of college sports right now, especially at a non-major D1 level that has the kind of setup that the Cougars have over here. And once again, grateful for all the donors who have made that possible. So the ball is dropped back. Averett trying to keep piling it on here. So Peasley is taking her time. Trying to set things up, make sure she's got the pass that she wants. Drops it over, loose ball out in front of the net, trickles back behind. Brevard with possession currently. That's going to be number 3, Bolin. Ball is knocked away temporarily. Averett picks it back up. Trying to make something happen down, and we've got some illegal contact. So Peasley with the rock. Well, underhand toss to Bolin. Bolin thinking about a shot is going to change her mind. She'll drop it back to 15. Felder. So Peasley gets it over to Callan. Ball is knocked away and goes back to number 13, McLaughlin. A loose ball at about the 35. And it's not loose anymore as number 12, Davis. So Davis with the pass over to Callan, excuse me. Callan over to Peasley. It's going to be number 2, Deering now. Peasley over to Callan. And Callan with a rip. And that is another goal for Callan, her second on the afternoon. And she now has half of Averett's goals as the Cougars now take a 4-1 lead with 6:10 remaining here in the first quarter. So off to a solid afternoon is Deering. And she hammers home that shot on the right side of the net. She went near side with the keeper there and still was able to sneak past. About 5 yards out there. And so here's the draw control after the goal from number 2, Deering. It's a beautiful day here in Danville. Mid-60s, sunny. A little bit of a breeze blowing. Of course, we can't feel it up here in the press box as the sun is really hitting right now. But it's all part of having this beautiful facility, and it's going to be number 11, Leodore. Ball is going to get snuck around there to the 10-yard line. Peasley gets it over to Bolin. Back over to Rios. And it's going to be number 3, Bolin again. Bolin with a quick pass over to Peasley. And Peasley not able to get it to go, but nice quick flick of the wrist there. A nice shot by Peasley. Nearly made it 5-1. But there's another attempt there, and that is going to be number 15, Raven Felder. Her first goal of the afternoon. And the Cougars now with a 5-1 advantage.
Averett University provides all you need for your future through learning that.
Sorry about that. Forgot to check with Mr. Stevens over here to make sure we were actually back from commercial break. So, there's Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's next episode playing right now over the PA speaker. Got taken back to my senior year of high school. Myself, along with Sports Information Director Drew Wilson. I believe that song was our senior year of high school and is now 24 years later considered an oldie, which I guess officially makes us old. Still a good song, though, so I will take hearing it, even if it does make me feel a little bit older than I want to feel at times. We got another draw control here after an Averett goal. It was Felder, the senior midfield attacker out of Bowie, Maryland. A 5-hour drive from Danville. So she is far enough away from home to feel like she's actually away, but close enough to where if she needs anything, it's a relatively short trip back. But anyway, Brevard trying to cut into its deficit as it's going to be number 17, Knibler, trying to make something happen, unable to do so. We do have a stoppage on the field. Brevard trying to take advantage of a possible free position attempt here. And that's exactly what they will do as Knobler rips a shot at Jobelin, but Jobelin there for the save on the right side, on her right side to keep the score at 5-1. So Averett quickly back on the counter, trying to get the ball back down. Peasley fighting for it on the ground right now. Still rolling. Peasley will pick it up behind the net. Speaking of other old songs, you've got Limp Bizkit's Rolling, Keep Rolling. That's another one that's back to my high school days. Of course, that's a group you don't hear too much from now, but back to the action here is Averett with control of the ball. And it's going to be number 3, Bolin. So Bolin, see what she can do. She's right outside the soccer 18-yard line. She's going to drop a pass back to number 10, Rios. Rios thought about having a rip, changes her mind. Unselfish play, Felder. And it's going to be Rios. She gets an attempt there, unable to find pay dirt. And the ball goes out. And Averett back on the offensive here, trying to get something going. Ball goes out. Back against the net. It's going to be Brevard ball. As they will start from the back of the football end zone. Beautiful, multi-purpose field here at Daly Field. Soccer, football, both lacrosses. And I would imagine eventually field hockey will all can be played here on this field. One of the many great improvements athletic director Meg Stevens has brought to this university and its athletic programs. Also helping it grow as well on the academic side. So Peasley, right now on the left side of the field, is going to drop it back to number 10, Rios. Rios gets it back to number 3, Bolin. Little drop back pass over to number 15, Felder. So Peasley, it's going to be number 10, Rios. And there's Peasley. And Peasley takes a bow, and why not? That was a beautiful goal off a nice feed from number 10, Rios. And it's now a 6-1 contest, 1:55 left in the first quarter. Of course, Peasley's goal song, Katie. And Peasley's goal song, Alicia Keys' Girls on Fire, playing across the speaker. And, of course, that can only mean one thing, that she has scored. And she has, adding her second notch to the game, 6-1, 155. And we're going to have a foul whistled against the Cougars. Restart. Brevard not wasting any time. Down 6-1. And it's going to be number 21, Colliver. And she's going to get back to Moore. Moore back over to Colliver. Colliver over to Moore. Moore back over to Colliver. Colliver into Moore, and we're going to have a foul whistle there, stoppage. And I think we're going to have a card. No, we're not. Looked like the referee was headed over with his hand in the pocket. And no doubt we're going to have a shot here. And we do. It's going to be number 11, Danega. But Jobelin there with the save. The 5'2" junior out of Hopewell Junction, New York. That was one thing that Coach Kelly Ryan was very good at. Of course, Ryan coming from Long Island, coming up from that area, had a lot of strong connections to the state, which is very strong in lacrosse and field hockey. And it's going to be number 10, Rios, trying to find something here. Pass will go loose on the ground. And Brevard will get possession. Just a beautiful day here at Daly Field, especially considering yesterday rained pretty much all day long. Ball over the middle, scooped up by the Cougars. Of course, this game will be directly followed by the men's lacrosse game against Methodist. And that is the end of the opening 15 minutes. So it has been all Averett since a early Brevard goal, as the Cougars have a 6-1 lead. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Averett Sports Network. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. A little Marvin Gaye and Tammy Walker playing across your speakers. And we were talking about oldies, and that is one. That's a classic. I think that will stand the test of time, as will anything from Motown. And here's the start of the second quarter. Draw control. And there we go. Referee is Referees are brave individuals to get down there so close to swinging sticks. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And number 3, Bolin. Oh, and she got popped in the face, too. Coming in on a goal from Peasley, or excuse me, an assist from Peasley. And looks like she is smarting from that one down there. And so, with that goal right there, Bolin now has a hat trick on the afternoon. And the Cougars had the 7-1 lead. That's always a fun phrase to get to say, hat trick. You don't often get to say it in all sports, but lacrosse is one where it is said quite often. Soccer, not so much. But anyway, Bolin now with the trio of goals as Peasley has another assist to add to her total. 14:22 left in the first half. And Brevard trying to quickly counter that goal. A nice defensive play down there by number 11, Leodor. Just got enough on the ball to knock it away, change the trajectory a little bit, and have it bounce in the Cougars' favor. So Brevard now with things in front of the goal. And we're going to have a stoppage. We're going to have a foul on the far side of the field. And things are going to stay with the Tornadoes. The Tornadoes have had a couple of free position attempts here today, a couple of free position shots, but Joblin, of course, there to make the save. Brevard got and that's number 10, Moore. And I believe Moore has one right there. She snuck that one in. Far side. Upper 90 on the right. The obligatory check of the stick. And things are going to restart here. 7-2, 13:38 remaining in the first half. And that is Moore's second goal of the game as she started off the scoring and really the first minute of the game for the Tornadoes. As I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Averett 2-0 against Brevard, dating back to their stint together last year in the USA South Conference. Of course, Averett, as I mentioned earlier as well, switching over to the ODAC this year, while Brevard stayed in the USA South. And Averett with a quick offensive opportunity here. That's going to be number 2, Bolin. Or Deering, excuse me. So Averett now with the ball. Averett still with the ball. So that's going to get over to number 15, Felder, who gets it over to number 11, Leodor. Back to Felder. Felder with a goal on the afternoon. So Bolin. And Peasley has a rip, and she's got a goal. And that is going to be another hat trick for Peasley as well. 8-2. Ball switched out to the outside on the right side. Peasley saw an opening on the far post, and she took advantage of it. And the Cougars now have an 8-2 lead with 12:50 remaining in the first half. So Peasley and Bolin, so far big-time players here for the Cougars, each with a hat trick. Felder with the goal and Deering with the goal. For Averett, Moore with both goals for the Tornadoes. And so Averett now with the ball on the far side of the field. It's going to be number 3, Bolin. Gets it back to Peasley at the 20. Going to get over to 10, Rios. Rios over to Felder. Felder gets it over to Deering. Ball over to Peasley. Gets it over to 15, Felder. So Felder going to take a couple of steps towards goal after some strategic passing from the Cougars. And Felder looking for her second goal and just about gets it. It will be saved, though, by number 13, McLaughlin. So Peasley now. Peasley looking for number 4. Is she going to take the shot? Yes, she will. And she's got it. 9-2. As the goals just keep on coming in for Peasley. She now has a game-high 4. And 9-2 is your score. And welcome back here to Daly Field, where Peasley has just tallied goal number 4 on the afternoon. So Averett with a quick reset there. This is going to be Bolin. And Bolin with a shot saved. So Moore trying to get the reset going here for the Tornadoes, for Brevard. And we're going to have some contact on the field. So Peasley was on the streak there, but she encounters about three defenders falling back, so she stops play. She's going to drop things back, trying to get the restart going. It'll be number 3, Bolin. Gets it over to number 5, Jay. He gets it back to 15, Felder. Trying to set it up, gets it over, and looked like she was going to get a pass off, unable to do it. She's going to stay with possession, Felder is. Got number 5, or excuse me, number 9. No, number 5, Elise Moore getting up a little slow there for, and there's the goal. And that is Torre with the goal, her first for the Cougars, or her first for the game. going to make it 10-2 with 10:05 left. Irenia Torre, her first goal. Of course, softball taking on number 11, Case Western Reserve right now. Opening game of the Triangle Classic. And not looking too hot for the Cougars as they trail 9-3 in the bottom of the fourth against nationally ranked Case. And that is one thing this Averett University softball team and its baseball team for that matter as well do not believe in easy matchups to start the season. Some coaches like to test the waters a little bit at the beginning of the year, but neither one of the Cougars programs are run by those type of coaches as they make sure both respective teams get challenges early on in the season. So Brevard now trying to get the ball downfield on the attack, trying to chip into that 8-goal deficit right now, which with Averett's scoring power could very easily turn into a 10-point deficit and a running clock here in the second half. Number 2, Deering, gets it over to number 10, Rios. That ball is dropped back to Jay. Jay's going to get it over to Felder. So Peasley and Averett passing it around right now as Brevard is set up in its zone. And a little over-the-top pass from number 3, Bolin, to Rios, who gets her first goal of the game. And it is now 11-2. And Rios on the goal from off the assist from Bolin. So Rios' first goal of the game is now 5 Cougars have cracked the score sheet so far in the first half. We had a whistle, but I think they're going to play through it as it looked like it was going against Brevard, but did not slow down the play. So wise no call right there. Just keep the whistle in the pocket. Let the play develop as it may. So Averett with the ball back behind the net. Now they get it out to the front. And the sun is really beaming down here on the right side of this field. So please work with me. It's number 3, Bolin. There's a little bit of a kerfuffle there at the top of the penalty box in soccer. It looks like it is going to be whistled against Brevard. Number 5, Moore. We're trying to listen to see if we got a card here. And we've got a yellow card on Moore for dangerous contact. Once again, just overall a great job here by this whole entire Averett team, whole entire Averett staff. Takes the village, as the old saying goes, and the residents of the village are strong here at Averett. Not always an easy thing running these live events. A lot can go wrong. A lot does go wrong. Have to be able to think quick on your feet, though, and bounce back. And we've got a discussion on the field here. They're trying to make sure they made the right call here. While they're doing that, we're going to take a look here, and softball now trails 10-3 in the bottom of the fourth after Case tagged the Cougars for 5 runs in the frame. And looks like things are going to kick back off here. And so for softball, it's Lauren Nelson, Mackenzie Luckenbaugh, and Olivia Jones, all with goals. Or, excuse me, all with RBIs for the Cougars. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after that blub of the century. That was definitely a SportsCenter non-top 5 moment. And Beasley's going to have a look-see, but we got a stoppage. And it looks like we're going to have a free position attempt here. And it is. Peasley had the goal, but it's going to be whistled back. And so Averett with possession, number 15, Felder. Ball is passed over the middle. And that is number 2, Deering, with the goal. And that is her second of the afternoon. And that is her second goal. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure, as I mentioned earlier, make sure you do stick around here, as after the conclusion of this game, about 30 minutes later, we will conclude today's lacrosse doubleheader, as the men's side will square off against Methodist. And with that goal, we are now going to have a running clock, as long as the Cougars maintain the double-digit or the 10-goal lead. And that was a little bit of incidental contact right there as momentum took those two into each other. Another good non-call there on the field. And it's going to be number 24, Volk, trying to get herself an opportunity, unable to. Averett looking to get the counter. And Davis with the ball. And it's going to be Peasley now. Peasley streaking down. And she's going to draw a no-no. And see if she can make it 5 here. She will match she's 2 away or 3 away right now from matching her total of 7. And actually, ladies and gentlemen, she's also 4 away from moving into ninth all time in NCAA Division III women's lacrosse. And Raven Felder, who had a solid a solid game in the season opener, had 2 goals, 4 assists, 2 ground balls, 2 caused turnovers. Also has a pair of goals in this one as well. As with the exception of the opening minutes, this one has been all Averett, as the Cougars have a 12-2 lead, 5:42 remaining in the first half. And here we go. And she's got it. So Peasley with goal number 5 on the mañana. And 13-2 is now the score. 5:32 left in this contest. Left in the first half. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. Of course, we officially didn't go anywhere, but 13-2, 4:48 left in the first half. As I mentioned earlier, as long as Averett maintains at least a 10-goal lead, the clock will run. And so Davis, that's going to be number 2, Deering. And Deering tried to have a look, ends up behind the net. Looked like that might have been a pass. But either way, it's going to lead to a penalty, and Deering is going to have a shot here for a hat trick herself. And unselfish play here as she did not have a clear look at the goal, so trying to find the best option. She gets it out to the right side, switches fields, takes it over to the far side. And that is going to be number 5, Jay. Gets it over to number 15, Felder. Felder to Peasley. And ground ball, Averett battling for it. Averett's going to pick it up. Jay is going to get it over to Deering. Gets it over to number 15, Felder. Felder back over to Deering. Deering gets it over to Bolin. I think Averett just kind of trying to spread things out right now. Maybe not so much in attacking mode already with an 11-goal lead. Not a lot of Need to rub salt onto the wound too deep. Running into the wound too deep. That's number 15, Felder. So after a quick square of the ball, Felder, and what a pass, and Peasley has herself a rib, but she is not going to grab herself a goal as she did. It's a great save there by McLaughlin. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to stick around for the halftime show brought to you by Edible.
Is inclusive, encompassing, inspiring. Averett University provides all you need for a future you deserve through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential with flexible online and on-campus programs like our newest programs in entrepreneurship and psychology, with more coming soon, with affordable tuition and 24/7 support. It all leads to you becoming a catalyst for positive change. Visit allaverett.com. Averett University. Are you all in?
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Frank R. Campbell Stadium and Daly Field. 13-2 is the score. 1:58 left in the first half. And as I mentioned earlier, we will have some halftime stats for you. Starting to see the breeze whip around a little bit here. As it looks like it is blowing out of the west over here at Daly Field. And so that is going to be number 5, Jay, with the ball. She is going to get it back to number 15, Felder. Felder gets it over to number 3, Bolin. Bolin over to Peasley. Peasley gets it over to Jay. Jay back to Peasley. .105 now. Left. Ball on the ground, scooped up by the Cougars. Number 10, Rios. And Rios with some fancy free foot loose footwork there. That was a lot of alliteration. Now 28 seconds left here. And Brevard moving the ball down on the right side of the field. And it's going to be Moore, who Moore has both goals here tonight or today for the Tornadoes. Ball dropped over the top, over to number 17, Knibler. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the first half here at Daly Field. Actually, no, it looks like we're going to have one last free attempt here. And it's going to be number 17, Knibler. Fires it in. But there's the save, and it's going to keep things at 13-2 moving into the half. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Daly Field as we have just started the second half of this non-conference women's lacrosse matchup between Averett and Brevard College. Right now, Averett cruising 13-2. Still a lot of action to be played out, though, and a lot of things can happen, especially in the game of lacrosse, where goals do not always come at a premium. So Peasley right now with the ball about 20 yards out. And takes a few steps towards goal. She's going to drop it back to Felder, who gets it back to number 6, Steckroth. Steckroth, one of the architects of this team. I don't know why I could not get that out, but I couldn't. And so Averett trying to drive in, and that's exactly what the Cougars are going to do as this number 15, Raven Felder, finding pay dirt, and she's going to tickle the twine. And I need to go and do some checking, but I believe that is her third goal of the afternoon. I know it is at least her second. And I have to respect Felder's goal music there. A little bit of Drake. Remember going back and having to edit a lot of that music back when I first started over here, and I got very good at Audacity by the time I was done over here. And that is her fourth goal of the season, Felder, and going to do some double checking, but I believe her second of the game. It is. So Raven Felder with 2, Morgan Deering with 2, Faith Boland with 3, and Elizabeth Peasley with 6. As we're going to run out of hats to give Peasley, and it looks like she is headed towards 7, and she is. That is number Siete. And that is now, she is now 2 goals away from a hat trick 3 times over. I hope Stevens knows a cheap place to get hats because she's going to need to find one by the time Peasley ends this season. And she is now 2 away from being placed 9th of all time in NCAA Division III. And that is not a shabby number at all. And 15-2 is your score. That's Felder and Peasley with 2 quick goals here to start things off in the third period. And of course, at this point, we are at a running clock. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And there's a shot on goal. I'm trying to get the number there. It was number 20, Kramer, the senior attacker out of Stewartstown, Pennsylvania. And sorry about that. I just hit the microphone end of the headphones with my hand. I was trying to readjust, and that's why you heard that pop. I do apologize about that. So Brevard just trying to spread the ball out right now. So the goal scorers for Brevard is Parker Moore with 1, Colliver with the other. And there's a shot and a goal for number 21, Colliver. And speaking of Colliver, she just gets on the scoreboard for the second time tonight, this afternoon. And it is now a 15-3 contest. So Colliver with her second goal of the afternoon on the assist by Knibler. That is Colliver's fourth goal on the season. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And Brevard right now with the ball, number 11, Danega. Number 10, Moore. It's going to be number 15, Hutto. Ball dropped back to number 17, Knibler. Ball given back to Moore. It's going to be number 20, Kramer. Kramer is going to get it over to number 11, Danega. So Danega. Brevard would like to try to turn off the running clock, get its deficit back to single digits here. Of course, the Tornadoes will have their hands full doing that. Number 10, Moore, and Moore's going to take a shot. Nice save there by Jablon. So Averett with the quick restart. The quick counter. And nice interception there by number 5, Moore. Moore gets it over to number 17, Knibler. And it's going to be number 24, Volk. And we're going to have a foul whistled on the play. 16-3 is your score. We'll take a look here at some stats for you. So Averett has assist, and here's a opportunity for Brevard, and Brevard will take advantage of it, as that is going to be number 11, Danega, with the definition of the word hustle play, of the phrase hustle play. She single-handedly moves that one down the field and finds the net, and it's now 16-4. And excuse me, that goal was by Knibler. And excuse me, that was number 17, Knibler, with the goal. Thought it was number 11, Danega there for a second. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now a 16-4 contest. 6:20 left in the third quarter, that is. So Averett with the ball down on the far end of the field. It looks like it is number 10, Rios. Rios is going to get it back to number 11, Leodore. So Peasley. Peasley. Little underhand toss there to number 15, Felder. Felder over the top to Peasley. Peasley's going to scoop that out. Peasley just 2 away from moving into 9th all time on the NCAA Division III scoring list. Steck Roth. And we've got a foul there on the field, as it is Felder hitting the ground. Not a flagrant play, but enough to impede momentum there. So, hence the whistle. So, Felder now with an opportunity to add to her total and record her hat trick. First hat trick of the season, and that is what she's going to do. And she skips the loo and down the field and finds the net on the near side. 17-4 is now your score. And that is her second of the period, second of the half, and third of the game. So Averett right now, 27 shots on goal to Brevard's 9. 22 of the Cougars' shots have been on target, while 8 of 9 of the Tornadoes have been on target. The free position shots, Averett and Brevard both with 3 apiece. Averett leading the ground ball battle, 12-3. Brevard with 6 saves compared to Averett's 4. And the Tornadoes have cleared the ball 5 of 12 times, while the Cougars are a perfect 8 of 8 on clearances. Averett 6 turnovers compared to Brevard's 13, and Averett has forced 9 of those turnovers, while the Tornadoes have forced 3 of Averett's 6. And this just in as Averett softball falls to Case Western Reserve 11-3. Averett 3 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. Case 11 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Thanks to Ethan Stevens for the update on the game. So, of course, softball does have one more game this afternoon as well as baseball. Baseball does have one as well, as both are playing at respective tournaments in the North Carolina area. And, of course, make sure if you are enjoying this broadcast, make sure you keep it locked here on Averett Sports Network, as we will have today's concluding doubleheader between Averett's men's team and the Monarchs of Methodist. Was here over at Averett for Tony Mackin's first year behind the helms of this Averett program, and great coach, great family, great guy is is Macklin, along with his family, and coming from the Midwest. And of course, Ryan was a great asset to the Cougars in her time here. And it's going to be number 15, Felder. Felder just about had number 4. Unable to get it to go. A little bit unlucky as her momentum threw her off balance a little bit. And Brevard streaking down the field right now. Let's see what we got. We've got some action developing. And a great defensive play, but some contact. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a brief stoppage, but play has resumed. Of course, that glare will be a little bit better here on the... And there's a shot on goal by number 11, Denega. Brevard now looking to try to switch fields. They're going to center the ball over to Kneibler. The ball is over to 11, Denega. So Moore trying to find her way around, is dispossessed. And we're going to have a foul whistled against the Tornadoes. So 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Averett leading 17-4. Take a look here at some of your leaders. Right now, goal-wise, Colliver with 2. And there is another Averett goal. And that is going to be Deering with the goal. And I believe Deering now with the hat trick. Let me confirm. But yes, Morgan Deering's third goal of the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is now Faith Bolin, Raven Felder, Morgan Deering, all with hat tricks for the Cougars. And not to mention Elizabeth Peasley, who has 7 goals. And we are at the end of the third. Averett holding an 18-4 lead. We'll be back with the last 15 minutes in just a sec. And ladies and gentlemen, in the words of one of my favorite shows from the 70s, even though I wasn't quite alive yet for that one, but welcome back, Otter. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to square things off here in the fourth quarter. And it's going to be Averett winning control. And Felder rushing down straight away. Felder showing her hops. Getting on down. So Peasley gets the ball over to number 6, Steckroth. Ball back to Steckroth. Felder possessed it. So Peasley now. The ball is going to be dispossessed. Brevard with it. It's going to be number 11, Denega. And ladies and gentlemen, just a little number to be on the lookout for. Peasley needs 2 goals to move into 9th all time on the NCAA Division III scoring list. Definitely a big moment for that young lady. If she can get it here today, it's really not so much of a, with her. With Peasley, it's not a matter of, it's early in the season, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when she's going to get it. And very real possibility, too, of moving into the top spot on the scoring list this season. Or, excuse me, on the all-time scoring list this season. So Averett now with possession. So Peasley's going to scoop things up. Ball is going to be squared over. So the Cougars now on the far side of the field. Cougars, of course, moving to your right. Meanwhile, Brevard moving to the left on your screen. Averett in the blue and gold, Brevard in the blue and white. And it's going to be number 15, Felder. It's going to get it over to number 6, Steckroth, who's going to get it over to Jay, I believe. And Felder trying to get in there. She's going to slip. And she got hit, yeah. Looking back now, she got hit. We were just waiting to make sure. We got the call there. And there was a nice pass from Felder over to Steckroth. That ball is saved. Brevard. Now trying to get the ball back down. We got 11:52 left here in this contest. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on the Averett Sports Network. Now, there are a lot of different places you could have been on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for spending it here with us. And if you enjoy lacrosse, make sure you keep it locked because we've got one more game coming between Averett and Methodist, 2 former foes. Methodist coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, about 2.5 hours away from Danville, a big military area down there. I once was coming back, my brother and I were coming back from a Dave Matthews show one night, and got lost there about 3 o'clock in the morning. Ended up about 45 minutes away from where we were supposed to be. So Peasley trying to draw things in. And a nice pass over there to number 3, Bolin. And Bolin makes it 19 as Averett is trying to reach the 20-goal mark for the second time this season. And right now we're going to take a look here at your leading scorers. Right now, Peasley with 7, Bolin with 4, Morgan Darien with 3, and Felder with 3. So 4 Averett players with hat tricks. Brevard got the first goal early on, and since then, Averett has outscored them 19-3. As the Cougars should cruise to 2-0. Meanwhile, if things stay the same, Brevard, I believe, will fall to 1-2 on the year. That is, if things stay the same. Excuse me, Brevard will actually move to 2-1 on the year. Averett will move to 2-0. And Averett will also take a 3-0 advantage in the series, in the overall series. So Peasley was trying to work her way in there, wisely backs off the attack. He's going to drop it back to Felder. Felder's going to switch things over. There is a shot, does not go. So Averett, after this, returns to action Tuesday with another home game against Bethany College, scheduled for a 2 p.m. start. Then the Cougars will follow with a home matchup against Eastern Mennonite. The Cougars then continue the home stretch with a non-conference matchup against the College of Worcester. And then we'll also open up ODAC play on March 25th against Virginia Wesleyan. So the Cougars at home for 6 of their first 7. So definitely not a bad way to start the season if you are Aaron Murphy. So Brevard trying to find some space in front of its net, unable to do so. So fun fact with Murphy was the first assistant coach for Averett when the school decided to bring back women's lacrosse as a sponsor sport during the 2017-18 academic year. Served as an assistant from July 2017 through May 2019, and before coming back to the program as an assistant coach in August 2020 for 2 seasons before being promoted to the head coach role. And there is a goal by Amanda Antoine for the Cougars, the freshman attacker out of Long Island, New York. And I believe that is going to be her first career goal. But Murphy played 4 seasons of collegiate lacrosse, including 2 at Division II Wingate, where she was a 2-time team captain. Earned all-conference second-team honors at midfield, leading her team in scoring in 2015. Also earned honorable mention all-conference defensive honors in 2016. And a native to nearby Mooresville, North Carolina, earned her master's degree from Averett in business administration with a concentration in human resource management. And So we've got the restart. Averett is going to control the draw. Control the draw, excuse me. And there's a shot, and it's going to be saved. And we got a free position. And Peasley's going to finish it this time. And 22-4. And ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, 21-4 is your score. And Poet, and I didn't even know it. So time running down on this one, 3:15 remaining. We were having a few laughs at my expense there in between goals after the pronunciation blub on the controlled draw. Not an exact science, though, and if you're going to do it, you got to be able to have a sense of humor because you are definitely going to make mistakes. Just hope they're not too big. And so we've got a stoppage on the field. We're going to take it with them. Timeout. Coming right back, 2:38.
Is inclusive, encompassing, inspiring. Averett University provides all you need for a future you deserve through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential. With flexible online and on-campus programs, like our newest programs in entrepreneurship and psychology, with more coming soon. With affordable tuition and 24/7 support, it all leads to you becoming a catalyst for positive change. Visit allaverett.com. Averett University, are you all in?
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we are about ready to return to action here. Averett 21-4. Peasley needing just one goal to move into ninth all time on the Division III scoring list. Big honor for her. We are back underway. Counting down the final 2 or so minutes. As I mentioned, we will. And Brevard right now trying to get an opportunity as it was number 15, Hutto. Give it back to Moore, and she was trying to got within about 2 yards from the goal. Well defended, though, by the Cougars. She will drop it back to Moore. Nothing going, and the score remains the same at 21-4. So Brevard started off the second half strong, scoring the first 2 goals. And it's been all Averett since then. And it continues to be as the Cougars now with the ball and on a streak. We're trying to get a number here. Ball is dropped to Amanda Antoine, who just had her first career goal. take it down to the final minute. It's been an action-packed game here. 25 goals scored between the two teams. Ball is squared across. Another square. And that's a takedown. And once again, would like to thank my production crew, Landon, Ethan, and Stanley, for their excellent work here today up in the booth with me. As I mentioned earlier, making me sound good, making me sound smart, which is not easy to do. So let's see if this is going to turn into a free position. It will not. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the contest. Averett 21-4 over Brevard as the Cougars move to 2-0 on the season. Give me a second. We're going to take a look here at some stats for you. Of course, these are all unofficial right now. So for Brevard led by Savannah Colliver with 2 goals, Parker Moore and Paige Kneibler with a goal apiece. For the Tornadoes, meanwhile, for Averett, no surprise here, Elizabeth Peasley, 8 goals to lead all scorers. Faith Boland with 4, Morgan Darren with 3, Raven Felder with 3. And right now we're going to take a look here at some overall team stats. Once again, Averett 21-4 winner. Averett has 7 assists compared to Brevard's 2. Averett with 36 shots on goal, or 36 shots, 28 on goal. Brevard, 9 of its 10 shots are on goal. Averett with 5 free position shots compared to Brevard's 3. Averett with 16 ground balls. Brevard with 7. Brevard 7 saves. Averett 5. And Brevard 8 of 16 on clearances. Averett a perfect 13 for 13. And Brevard with 19 turnovers, 13 forced by the Cougars. And Averett with 9 turnovers, 5 forced by the Tornadoes. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to join in again on Tuesday when Averett hosts Bethany College at 2 p.m. Meanwhile, keep it locked here on the Averett Sports Network as we'll be bringing you men's lacrosse action between Averett and Methodist here in a few minutes on the Averett Sports Network. Once again, Averett 21, Brevard 4.